Hello there, welcome back to the Healing Nest, and today we'll be talking about fear. Now, I'm sure all of us at some point in our lives must have heard that word fear, but what really is fear? Fear, in my definition, is being afraid of the unknown or the unseen, whereas others might likely define it as false evidence appearing as real. And you see, fear is something where, well, at least for me, it has limited me in so many ways. For some, though, they use it as a form of, encouragement. It fuels them and drives them to achieve so much in such a short period of time. Fear sometimes actually saves you because then it can serve as a survival instinct. That's something my psychologist taught me at some point, because we're trying to, revolve around the whole, I'm afraid to do this, I'm afraid to do that. And it's like, well, fear can actually be a good thing if you put it to good use. But you see, for those that find fear to be limiting, there are different ways it actually shows up. But then you see, it can even help you, because then it could be pointers to things you need to heal from or grow from. For instance, fear can come off from past experiences or trauma, and oftentimes it can even mask itself as wisdom. It dresses itself as wisdom that just stops us from growing. And then sometimes also for some, in fact, right, I just learned this of recent. Oftentimes I tell myself like I'm a perfectionist, like I just don't want to do things yet because, well, I'm trying to ensure that everything is right, everything is steady before I start or take off a project. But of recent, apparently, I know I procrastinate, but I used to differentiate the two. But then sometimes fear can also just be procrastination masking as perfectionism. Anyway, that's what I've learned about myself. And you see, the thing about some things, when you're about to heal from things, right? Sometimes you have to come to a point of agreeing or accepting it. I know that it sounds negative to accept that you're afraid or fearful, but then it's a step to change, because by acknowledging that you're afraid, then you start asking, okay, what things can I do then to change that? And the things that can change, change your confession, change the things you say and how you say them, change your, I'm afraid to do this, I'm afraid to do that, to declarations. I am able to do this and I will do it, and so do it. Because when you change it, you see yourself actually doing them. Or then put yourself in safe spaces, community that would foster you to grow. Shift your focus, because what you're looking at matters. Now, if you focus on, for me, for instance, at some point in my life, I was so focused on the negative things going around in life, right? I could be like, okay, I could be walking on the street at night and someone would just come and stab me, courtesy of movies, of course, or just being kidnapped. That I see the world as very chaotic. And in as much as, yes, there are dangerous places, there can be such a thing as being at the wrong place at the wrong time, or right place, wrong time. But then the point is, regardless, it's also important to factor in that, okay, maybe I know this place to be this way. Maybe it's bad for me to be here at this time. Then fear sets in, right? But the smart thing to do about that is analyze, be critical about it. Okay, if that's the situation, then in as much as I need to be there, I'll go, but I'll leave that place before this time hits. And that way, it's keeping you safe, it's keeping you protected, and so you're channeling it to good use rather than allowing it to limit you. Because sometimes fear makes us to shrink in places where we're supposed to own, spaces where we're supposed to own up, spaces where we're supposed to be known for. Fear can make you feel so timid, lack courage or confidence, and make you feel like you're beneath everyone else. But today we're saying no to that. So sometimes, like I said, you could go for therapy or scripture, because the word is also very, very helpful. In fact, the most impactful thing, because it shows you how speaking really changes everything. Your closed mouth is a closed destiny. And so if you allow these negative thoughts to just continue, you can't fight thoughts with thoughts, you fight it with words. And by speaking something over and over and over again, you get to a point of conviction, because then when you even look at your life right now, you are a product of what you've been listening to over and over again, or what you've been saying about yourself. If you keep saying, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, oh, you will be depressed. Or if you keep saying, I'm afraid, you'll be a chicken. So whatever you keep saying over yourself, that's actually what you tend to embody. So change your confession. Start speaking confidence over you, start speaking life over you, start speaking healing over you, and just, allow things change. Because you do not wait for things to change, because then sometimes we're like, we'll just wait for things to change. It doesn't happen. But when you speak, things start to change around you. I hope this helps you. So say no to fear. We're scratching that out. So we're adjusting with, I hope that one helps you, because I can't go over this again. I'm done. I can't go over this again.